Hello friends. In one of the earlier videos, we spoke about income tax calculation. In today's video, we'll discuss about how to save on income tax. Before we get started, a brief disclaimer. We are not tax experts. This video is only for education and awareness purposes. Please do your due diligence. In India, through the Income Tax Act, Government of India has prescribed various sections through which citizens can claim income tax deductions and exemptions. What are they? Number 1. Section 80C and 80CCD. Via this section, citizens can claim up to 2 lakhs of deduction from their net taxable income. Via Section 80D, citizens can claim deduction on the expenditure that they incurred on purchase of health insurance or any other medical expenditure. Here, the limit is up to 75,000. In very rare scenarios, it can go up to 1 lakh if both you and your parents are senior citizens. Via Section 80DD and DDB, you can claim deduction from your net taxable salary on the expenditure that you incurred for the medical expenses of your disabled dependent. Via Section 80E, you can claim deduction on the interest that you are paying on your education loan. 3 sections, Section 24, Section 80EE and 80EEA. These 3 sections talk about the various provisions that you can use to claim deductions on the interest that you are paying on your home loan. Via Section 80G and 80GGC, you can claim deduction on the donations that you made to various charitable institutions. Via Section 80TTA and TTB, you can claim deduction on the interest that you earned on your savings account. Now, if you sum up together, it would come approximately around 4,85,000 or in fact more, depending on what is your age, how much of exemption or deduction that you are claiming in each of these sections. Now let's look at each of them in detail. First, Section 80C. Via Section 80C, you can claim up to a deduction of 1.5 lakhs from your net taxable income. Mind you, this is not the actual tax savings. This is just a deduction from your net taxable income. So how can you avail this? If you invest 1.5 lakhs or more in EPF or Public Provident Fund or any tax saving deposits that are available in bank, ELSS schemes, National Pension Scheme, Life Insurance Premium, Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, Children's Tuition Fee, and also on the principal that you pay on your home loan. So as I said earlier, the deduction is 1.5 lakhs, but what is a tax savings? If you are in the tax bracket of 5%, you can save 5% of this 1.5 lakhs, which is around 7,500. Let's say your net taxable income is around 15 lakh. In this situation, if you save 1.5 lakhs, you will be able to save 30% of 1.5 lakhs, which is 45,000. Over on top of 80C, we have Section 80CCD, where you can claim a deduction of 50,000 over and above the 1.5 lakhs if you invest in National Pension Scheme only. Here you can claim a tax savings of up to 15,000 if you are there in 30% income tax slab. Coming to Section 80D, this section pertains to any kind of medical expenditure or the premium that you paid for your health insurance or medical insurance. So here, if you or your spouse are not senior citizen, you can claim up to a deduction of 25,000. If in case any one of you are senior citizens, you can claim up to a deduction of 50,000. For your parents, same situation. If your parents are not senior citizens, you can claim a deduction of 25,000. If your parents are senior citizen, you can claim a deduction of about 50,000. For many of the people in their late 30s, this situation will be applicable. You'll not be a senior citizen, but your parents will be senior citizens. So you can claim a deduction of up to 75,000. When it translates to a tax saving, it is minimum 5% of 50,000, which is 2,500, and a maximum 30% of 75,000, which is around 22,500. Section 80DD. If you have any disabled or any handicapped dependent, you can claim deduction on the expenditure that you incurred on their medical treatment, rehabilitation, or if you are keeping deposit in a specific scheme for the dependent, you'll be able to get deduction. And this deduction is dependent on the amount of disability. If the disability is between 40% to 80%, it is 25,000. If the disability is more than 80%, it's 1.25 lakhs. Hence, the tax savings, the maximum tax savings you can get is around 37,500 via this section. Via Section 80DDB, there are certain diseases for which you can claim deduction. For these neurological diseases, you can claim a deduction of about around 40,000. In case you are senior citizen, the deduction can go up to 1 lakh. Here you can save about maximum of 30,000 from your tax. Via section 80E. Many of us would have taken education loan for our undergrad or postgraduate studies. Do you know that you can claim tax benefit for the interest that you are paying on your education loan? Yes. For a period of 8 years, you can claim deduction from your net taxable income only for the interest component, not for the principal component for paying the education loan. There are no limits to it, right? So depending on the your income tax slab and how much of interest that you're paying, the deduction will be applicable. So in my case, when I took a loan of about 10 lakhs 10 years back, on an average I used to save about a lakh or 1.2 lakhs a year on this particular section. Now, home loan section. So we have three sections here: section 24, section 80EE and 80EEA. Section 24 gives you a deduction of about 2 lakhs only on the interest component that you pay on your home loans. Over and above, there is a new section, section 80E. It is applicable only in specific cases where the buyer is a first time homeowner and the total property value is less than 50 lakh and the loan amount is less than 35 lakh. You can claim an additional deduction of about 50,000. There is one more section called section 80EEA, which was introduced 1.5 years back, where you can claim additional deduction of about 1.5 lakhs. But you cannot claim 80EE and 80EEA together. Either you can go for 24 plus 80EE or 24 plus 80EEA. Now, what would be the total savings here? As the maximum deduction is 2 lakhs plus 1.5 lakhs, 3.5 lakhs, the maximum tax savings you can do is about 1,05,000 if you are in the 30% tax bracket. Coming to section 80G and 80GGC, if you have made any contributions to any institution such as PM CARES, you can claim deduction on that. So depending on what type of institution it is, you can claim a deduction of either 100% or 50%. But if you are paying the donations via cash, only 2,000 will be applicable. For 100% exemption or more exemption, you will have to either pay through check or through wire transfer. So the deduction, you don't have any limits to this deduction, and the tax savings will depend on your tax slab and the amount of deduction. Section 80TTA and TTB provides for deduction on the interest that you earn on your savings account. So 80TTA is for non-senior citizens and TTB is for senior citizens. Non-senior citizens can claim up to a deduction of 10,000 rupees for the interest earned. Let's say you keep around say 1 lakh in your savings account, and on a year you get around 4% interest. So for the entire 4,000 rupees, you can claim deduction under this section. Let's say you keep around say 25 lakhs in savings account, and let's say you get around 12,000 as an interest, you can claim up to only 10,000. In case of senior citizens, this limit is up to 50,000 rupees. Hence, the tax saving will be between 500 to 15,000 rupees. All right, we have spoken a lot about each of these sections. Now, let's do some calculations and understand how much taxpayer, a common taxpayer can save. It is not necessary that all the sections will be applicable for all the taxpayers. So let's remove some of the sections that are not very common. Let's remove the DD and DDB because everyone may not have disabled dependent. Let's remove the education loan. Everyone may not contribute to PM CARES or any kind of charitable institution. So I'm removing that. So net, you can save up to around 4.85 lakhs from your net taxable income. And again, I'm saying this is not the actual tax savings. This is just a deduction from your net taxable income. Let's look at how much tax savings you can make via this. Let's say as an individual, the individual is contributing to Employee Provident Fund 1.5 lakhs and he's making a contribution to National Pension Scheme for additional 50,000. There is a 2 lakh deduction that he's eligible for. Over and above that, if that individual takes a health insurance for himself and his family, he will have a deduction of 25,000. And if he takes health insurance for his senior citizen parents, he will be eligible for additional deduction of 50,000, 25,000 plus 50,000, 75,000. And let's say that individual has bought a home and he's paying interest on that, and he can claim a deduction of up to 2 lakh on that. and at last he can claim an interest exemption for his savings account. In total, you 2 lakh plus 75,000 plus 2 lakh, 4 lakh 75,000 plus 10,000, 4 lakh 85,000 is the amount that is deductible from the net taxable income. Let's take two examples. In the first example, the individual's net taxable income is say 10 lakh. You did reduce all the deductions here. You reduce the deduction of 4.85 lakhs, and since that individual is in 20% tax bracket, that individual will be able to save 20% of this 4.85 lakhs, which translates to 97,000. Let's say there is another person whose total income is say 20 lakh, and if he claims all these deductions, he can claim 30% of 4.85 lakhs, which translates to 1.45 lakhs approximately. Over and above that, you can also save on your cess, which is 4% of the net tax you're paying. Hope this video has been useful, and hope you're able to save more tax for this financial year 2021. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and please share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.